Hello, people. I'm watching YouTube, and this just came on, and I wanted to talk about it. What the lady is saying, or whatever. That's not what I'm making the video about. I'm just getting an image in order to talk to you about something. Like you see the title, the police can. This is mostly for black people. To be honest, although it can apply to everybody, but sadly in America, black people don't have the same rights as white. I don't care what you say, it has been proven and proven and proven again. Black people don't have the same rights as white. I'm talking about factually. I'm talking about practically, not theoretically. Theoretically, yeah, they say we are equal and all that. But in fact, it's not true. Because even white police officers have testified many times of how they get rougher with black people than with white people doing the same thing. Did you hear that? So one black person did something, one white person did the same thing. The way the police will handle it with the black person will be rougher, will be more condemnation, more judgmental behavior than with the white. So what is the equality? There's no equality. So black men surviving in America, that's what I'm talking about. What am I talking about today? Maybe I should turn the camera on me. Okay, let me turn the camera on me. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about be careful how you deal with the police or law enforcement. You hear that? Be careful how you deal with the police or law enforcement. What do I mean by that? The law is written to give a lot of power to the police and to law enforcement. Did you hear that? Very important. The law is written to give a lot of power to the police and law enforcement. And everything is not black and white. Everything is not, if you do this, the police does this. Everything is not like that. There are phrases that say the police officer's opinion. There are phrases that say the police officer's judgment. The police officer's judgment. Or the police officer's assessment of the situation. So what does that mean? That means the police officer can interpret what happened anyhow. And that's when they use the racism. Because there's no more racism legally. So if they want to be evil to you, they use those general phrases that the city or the state or the country has given them. They use it against you. That's why they hide the way they treat a white person with the same offense or the same behavior compared to the way they treat the black with the same behavior. You see that? So you need to be very careful. Number one, I learned something today called resistive tension. Resistive tension. Not resisting arrest. You see, resistive tension means what? It means there is tension that you are resisting. So if the police, you are questioning the police officer. You see, people love to question the police officer and say, the law says this, you can't do this, you can't do that. Which they can be right. But if while doing that, hear me, while doing that, the police officer determines that you are doing a resistive tension or he's feeling a resistive tension, meaning a tension that you are resisting, a tension that you are fighting for, he is in the right to arrest you or whatever, or to accuse you or whatever. I don't know what different states that resistive tension apply. I heard it from a police officer today on the video I was showing you. So that if the officer feel a resistive tension, not resistant, not that he's grabbing you, the way you are talking, if he feel like, oh, you are bringing tension, he can arrest you. Okay, what does that mean factually? So depending on our different cultures, I can be talking with firmness. You see the way I'm talking now? Some people might think like, oh, you are yelling, or you are being too hard, you are being too harsh. Some people might take it like that. But me, I'm just different. I'm just being affirmative. That's what I think. But somebody can take it in a different way. Somebody be like, oh, you are too harsh. You are too difficult. Maybe the person want me to say, the police officer have the right. You know, there's something called a resistive tension. Be careful of resistive tensions. But me, I'm saying a resistive tension. You see, the intonation I'm having, somebody might have a problem with that. Whereas for me, we are not fighting. There's nobody here. We are arguing or whatever. So I'm just affirming what I'm telling you. Somebody can take it wrong. What does that mean in this case? The police officer coming on the scene, he can consciously or unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously, say that he felt a resistance tension, a resistive tension or a tension of resistance, and arrest you. You hear that? So you don't have rights, man. Unless the officer want to be fair, want to say, oh, I cannot treat this black man or this black woman the way I treat my other white woman or white man. Unless he's conscious of that. So when the police officer make a report that he have a resistive tension, the system will agree with his report because it's in the law that the police officer can determine that. Or the police officer say, I sense that the way he or she was behaving, he was being, having some frightful words, and I feel like I need to arrest him because of this, because he will arrest you. So you don't have a lot of rights, man, people. Don't lie to yourself and say, yeah, I'm in America. I was born here, man. You want to claim right. Be careful. I learned something from Judge Judy. You know what that is? When the police pull you over, they can blame you of anything. They can accuse you of anything. You do not argue with the police there. Did you hear that? Many of us, you want to prove the police wrong. Yeah, the law says, the law says. I learned from Judge Judy that no, that's not the place for that. And if you keep doing that, that's where you fall into resistive tension. And the police officer will arrest you. You'll be surprised. And the arrest will be validated. It will not be cleared out. You see that? Judge Judy said that when the police pull you over, either what he's accusing you of, you did it or not, you do not argue with the police officer. You sign the ticket he gave you, and you go to court to go argue your case in a courtroom. You hear that? That's what you do. But what do we want to do? Now you can arrest me for that. That's crazy. Why can you do that? Why can you do that? That's the police officer. He can do what he want to do. They still give him the right to make his judgment or use the law to arrest you. And it's not with him that you have to argue. Of course, some people have argued the police. The police felt ashamed and left. But that doesn't mean that's the right way. They can find something to accuse you about. Okay, the video I was showing you, the lady who was in handcuffs in the back of the police car, she is the sister of a guy the police was searching about. They live separate. The sister was driving by. She saw the police by the house of her junior brother, and she came up to say, what are you doing? You don't have the right to search. The brother is younger. He doesn't know better. The police knock at the door. He want to let them in. The sister came and said, no, don't let them in. They don't have the right to arrest you. They don't have the right to search your property. They don't have a search warrant. You see? But the brother didn't know that when the police ask you and you consent, you just waive a warrant. You just waive a search warrant if you consent. So don't consent. So the lady was very vocal about telling the brother, don't tell them not to get in the house. No. And she confronted the police and told them that, no, you don't have the right to do that. You cannot get in there. You don't have a warrant. And the police arrested him, put her in a handcuff. I don't know if they're going to let her go later. But pretty much they are saying that she have the sense and resistive tension. And that's why they put her in a handcuff. People, please be careful. Number one, the best way to prevent all that, do everything to avoid being pulled over by the police if you're a black person. Do everything to avoid being pulled over. Do not speed. Like me, when I'm driving, I put my speed in a cruise control most of the time to avoid that speed. Because when you speed here and they stop you, that's when things begin. They want to see your ID card. They want to search in the system if you have a warrant for your arrest. If they don't find anything, now they want to look in your car and be like, hey, they find something suspicious. They need to search your car. And that's where some of them will throw something in and say, oh, you have a drug in your car when you never used drug before, and all kind of stuff. So don't be pulled over. I know it's humanly almost impossible to live in a way that you will never be pulled over by a police. But what do you want to do? You want to be arrested? Do your best not to. Do your best not to. And when you get pulled over, don't argue with them. Whatever they say, either it's true or not. Thank God there are body cameras that the police wear these days. So whatever they pull you over, everything will be recorded, and you go to court to fight it if you don't agree with it. So please, black men surviving in America, beware of how you talk to the police. Remember, you don't have to argue with them. You don't have to try to fight them and prove them that they are wrong. You go to court to fight it. They have phrases in the law that can authorize them to arrest you, such as resistive tension. Not meaning that you are tense or you are being frightful towards them, but they sense through your voice. And then again, like I say, the way somebody talk can be different than the way the other guy talk. They can consciously or unconsciously, consciously meaning they know you are not wrong, but because they want to charge you, they say, oh, the way he was talking. You see, the police officer, that's what they say. When they get the one that we have record of that were accused, they find a crazy reason to justify the arrest. And sometimes a judge have to override that. But how many judges override them? Remember, the police, the judge is there to punish what the police has determined as being unlawful. So 90% of the time, the police will agree with the police. The judge will agree with the police. Did you hear that? The judge is there to condemn those that the police has determined as, bad behavior, right? And so the judge knows that the city has given the police the training and the authority to do their job. So more than likely, whatever the police report says, whatever the police officer has written about you, that will stay there. The judge will approve it. Because if the judge keep on denying everything the police write, the police will not have authority anymore. The police can't do their job anymore. So it's a vicious cycle, I understand. So survive. Black men survive in America. Thank you.